Hello everybody, it's Whiskey11 and welcome back to the Gaming Lounge. And in this video, we're going to actually start to examine the F-14's flight characteristics, specifically in the ACM or dogfighting arena. One of the big conversations that always comes up on the forums was the F-14 ever intended to be a dogfighter. It seems to me like it was a giant interceptor. It had these big, huge, powerful engines, although the A model not necessarily. This big radar, this big long-range missile, clearly it's just an interceptor. Well, we're going to examine that a little bit more in detail. And in this video, we're going to be facing off against the MiG-29S that's piloted by the AI. The AI is set to the highest skill level. And let's just go ahead and we're going to go ahead and begin this video. So one of the interesting aspects about the F-14 is that it has some interesting quirks. For one, you're going to see me turn off the roll stability, which is a supposed requirement for this to operate in, dogfighting. We got to do the master arm. Flip up our ACM panel, switch our gun rate back down to low, because facing off against the MiG-29 is always a bit of a struggle. It goes by quick. So when you get into this, the first pass on this heads-up pass, you don't want to be going full burner. The F-14's dogfighting capabilities come into their own in the slow speed arena. So there's our merge. And he's going vertical, so we will go ahead and we will actually do a hybrid. It looks like he decided he was going to level out a little bit on his turn. You can see that the aircraft is buffeting ever so slightly. There's about 4 different stages of buffeting on the F-14 Tomcat. The first stage, looks like we lost him here. The first stage is a light buffet, and this is about 10 to 15 degrees of angle of attack. The units are unknown. Oh, now he's on my 6. Okay, so to dump them off of our 6, there's a couple things we're going to do. We're going to go into this heavy buffet zone, which is going to kill a lot of speed, and then we're going to use our rudder to roll the aircraft. And you can see we started to roll into this kind of a side slip. You really do have to be careful with that maneuver. You don't want to do it too aggressively, or you can get this aircraft into a flat spin. But about the time you start to get that light buffet is about the point at which the Tomcat starts to exhibit what is known as roll reversal, which means if you move your stick to the right to try and roll it to the right, it will actually roll to the left. The medium and medium heavy buffeting stages, if you try and roll at all, it will actually almost completely 180 degree flip you over. So it's a little bit of a bear to kind of keep behind this MiG-29. You can see we're now in a scissors. We had a little bit of a vertical scissors going on there. Oop, there you can see the Tomcat not wanting to roll. There's the roll reversal. We still managed we're still in this horizontal scissors here, which is a very important tactic for the Tomcat because the Tomcat can bleed energy, and it can get it back relatively quickly. And we're going to use the shape of the aircraft, its lifting body, to try and get behind him. And you can see we're already on the favorable side of his aircraft. The problem is, as you can listen to the engines, we are at full afterburner trying to get some speed back because we got a crap ton of AOA built up. Look at how close he got. He got so close to the water that it actually caused the ripple effect here. So here again, we're starting to pull. You really want to keep this aircraft in the medium, light to medium, preferably in the light buffeting. Here's the light buffeting for you. And that's when this aircraft is going to have its best energy retention. It's when it's going to have its best turn maneuverability, its best roll rate. It's less likely to have problems with roll reversal. Okay, so we got another head-up pass here. Throw a couple rounds at him. And one thing that the F-14 does not like to do is tail stand. It does like to tail stand. And here you can see it's going to cost us a little bit, but once again we're going to use our rudder to roll back around on him. We've got the heavy buffeting going, the medium to medium heavy buffeting going here, and it's going to pull back up. So now he's going vertical, so we're going to stay in the horizontal to try and keep our energy up. He's going to come down on our 6. Now if I was facing off against SCO, I'd probably have died here, but well, he's not here. So once again, we're going to try and force him into this rolling scissors if we can. So here we're going to brake again. And this is going to do a couple of different things to you. On an AI pilot like this, you're going to be able to get away with this. Ooh. A little bit of roll reversal there. Okay, heavy buffeting to try and slow down. The heavy buffeting can actually over-G the aircraft, so you do have to be careful with the rate at which you build up those Gs. Okay, so once again, we're slowing down. You can see it looks like he's going to start to overshoot here. So here's our first scissors. I'm ahead of him in this, so we need to turn. Okay, so rolling back around. Once again, the heavy buffeting, trying to use the shape of the aircraft to slow down. I'm still ahead of him, so we're going to roll again. And now he overshoots. So now he's overshot, and we are now officially on his 6. But we do not have the airspeed to go into this climb, so we're going to back off the stick, and then we're going to go into this climb. Track IR freaking out a little bit there, okay? So now we're going to use the... That one was aileron roll. We were able to use the stick to get that, but once the buffeting starts, you really have to start using rudder to roll the aircraft. And that's one of those really, really weird... quirks of the F-14, and it is extremely prevalent. This thing will flip over on you. Okay, so he's going vertical. We've got enough airspeed. Quick shot there at him without having the lockup mode, and you can see we got a couple of really good hits on him. At this point, the MiG-29 is basically dead. So by the time you get to heavy buffeting in this aircraft, you're bleeding off energy and you're not gaining anything in terms of nose authority. You're not gaining anything in terms of turning capability. All you're doing is bleeding off energy. And so using it, you need to use it sparingly. Again, this aircraft operates best in the light buffeting range. That's about 10 to 15 degrees angle of attack units. There he goes, and down he goes. So that's about the ideal operating range here, and facing off against this MiG-29S is a lot of work. Just saying. And down he goes. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's go look at this over in TacView now, and we will be right back with TacView. Alright, so here we are over in TacView now, and this is a particularly useful tool in which I need to get out of the demo, but we'll invest in this in a little bit. So we're going to play through this a little bit. And this first part is pretty simple. You can see we start off at 10 nautical miles, basically straight ahead. I think we're at 14,500 feet, 15,000, somewhere in that range. And this gets really interesting fast. So, like I said in the first part of this video, it's important to remember to turn off your roll stability augmentation system, because what it will do is it will actually input, here we can pause this for a second, it will actually input roll inputs into the aircraft to try and minimize the pilot-induced oscillations that can occur due to the shape of the aircraft at high angle of attack. And the problem with this is when you're at high angle of attack, it's going to want to add in roll in the direction that you don't want it to go, and you're going to get roll reversal. And so that's why you turn off the roll stability augmentation system, if at all possible. Okay, so here we are at the merge. Again, we're about Mach 0.78, Mach 0.8. He's going actually a little bit slower. And he's slowing down, I'm slowing down, you can see we're slowing down. I will pop my speed brake here in this. So after the merge, you can see he goes almost purely vertical. We kind of go off at an angle, and this is to kind of preserve some of our energy as we go through this turn, because you can see we bled a lot of energy. We're both trying to get there. You can see a little bit of a problem with the high angle of attack. I lost him. I lost visual on him. And then he ends up on my 6. And this is when we start to do, and this is when I pick him up again, this is when we start to do the rudder kickover. So you can see he's lagging behind me, and I'm able to kick the rudder over to roll the aircraft, to roll underneath of him and behind him. And this puts us at a more favorable position. One, he's not able to get a shot off on us. Okay, so it happens again. So this time we're going to roll. We're going to attempt to roll. Okay, so now we've got a little bit better angle on him. So let's roll. And you can see now I'm in an even better position. Okay, so now he is like right at the edge of the flight envelope, and now we're going to go into a little bit of a scissors here. I am high in the scissors. Okay, so I'm coming under him. And a little bit of an issue there with the high angle of attack and buffeting going on, if I remember correctly from the video. But this is a pretty lazy scissors when you start to think about it, but here we are. Okay, so we're at the merge. We level out to throw off his shot. We straighten out to throw off his shot. And we go ahead and we start our turn. Again, using the buffeting, he went vertical, so we're still on the horizontal. He's got more energy than I do. He's going faster than I am. But the MiG-29 also has a lot better nose authority than the F-14 does. Doesn't necessarily mean it's better at turning, and there he almost goes into the water. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a better at turning. It is obviously a very capable turning aircraft. So there's where he went vertical, and I said that we were going to, keep building our energy. We were going to stay in the horizontal and then work our way back up. Slowly, slowly. Look at that beautiful tower in the background. So we're still on his 6, and at this point we have all the advantages in the world. We're waiting for him to make a mistake. Okay, so a quick snapshot there to hope to get him, but didn't end up hitting him. Now we're going to roll it over. A little bit of Immelman there. And then we're going to come back down. And he's going vertical again, and we are still in a fairly favorable position. We got a lot of fight left to go, and if you heard in the video, you can actually hear the afterburners go. Okay, so here we're going to stay in the horizontal. He's going to go below us. I'm praying for him to overshoot. Okay, so he is clearly not overshooting. We are still in the horizontal. Okay, now I'm going to start to roll back, and we're going to force him once again into one of those horizontal scissors. Now, this would not necessarily work against a skilled pilot who's used to taking snapshots. And the reason why I say that is because every now and again in one of these scissors, you're going to end up getting a positional shot where they're going to be able to get a quick snapshot on you. And that doesn't always work out in your favor. Okay, so tried to continue a turn here to see if I could outturn him in the turn, but he was able to keep up. So now we're going to go back into the scissors. You can see the Tomcat just working the slow speed. We don't want to give the MiG-29 the speed advantage. We want him to have the speed advantage, but we don't want to have a high-speed dogfight because that is not where the F-14 is strongest. The F-14's lower wing loading is actually an advantage at the much lower speeds. Plus the geometry of the wing change, that is also a huge advantage as well, because these wings, as you go faster and slower in the Mach program, are actually going to start sweeping forward and back, and it's going to give you much, much, much better control. Now, obviously, at these low speeds, they're basically locked straight out. And okay, so now he goes vertical. There's our first set of hits. That was that quick snapshot there. And at this point, the dogfight is basically over. He's leveling out. He might as well just basically eject at this point. But overall, this is probably one of the better missions that I've ever put together. And it's not like it wasn't an overly complex one to put together. But in terms of training for the behaviors of the F-14 Tomcat, if you really want to push your learning of how to dogfight in this aircraft, by all means, start off with a MiG-29S. There he goes. And he gets shot down. And there goes his pilot. By all means, set up this mission. Set yourself up at about 18,000 feet, 15,000 feet, 10 nautical miles apart, head on, guns only. The MiG-29 is fully loaded on fuel because it won't make it to the end of a 10-minute dogfight. It will run out of fuel. The F-14 is loaded at about 75% fuel, so it's still way heavier. But it really tests you because there's a lot of opportunity here to mess up. And when I first started doing this mission, it took me forever to figure out how to get behind a MiG-29S. And I plan on doing this with F-18s and F-15s as well. Anyway, I'm Whiskey11. I hope that this video has been a good help for you guys to examine some of the handling quirks of the F-14 Tomcat. Let me know down in the description if it helped you out. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.